Hey YouTube, me Jolta, back at it again with another video. So, I'm a big fan of Hunter x Hunter. I think I've only made that apparent in one video thus far, being one of my more recent ones, where I made a Ben 10 Omnitrix. As I am a big fan, I am super hyped for the upcoming, at time of recording, Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact. And so I decided, why not make a small tier list of all the characters in the show, at least the ones that I think are notable, that I would want to see as playable characters. We've seen the roster, it's not incredibly massive, but if Nen Impact is popular, there's always the chance for DLC later, or even before, as like a pre-order bonus. So the way I sorted this out is, from the tiers already confirmed, these are the 6 characters that we've seen in the gameplay trailer, and really you could guess they're all going to be confirmed anyways. Must include are what is known as practically confirmed, where characters would be stupid to leave them out. Likely but I don't want, neutral and unlikely but I want, for characters that I think they're going to include but I don't really care for. The exact opposite, characters I don't think they're going to include but I would want them to, and neutral. But I might include them, and I might care for them. And they're not going to happen. So I sorted them into characters that are important and or we've seen in a proper fight. I'm not going to rank Tonpa. Let's just start this. First up, I'm just going to fill out the must include right now. Because I see Chrollo. I seriously just called Illumi Chrollo. I see Illumi, I see Chrollo, and where are they? There they are. Illumi, Chrollo, Meruem, and Genturu. These are primary villains of each their respective arc. So now we have the villain in every arc, as Hisoka is for both Hunter Exam and Heaven's Arena. Illumi for rescuing Killua the election, Chrollo for Yorknu, Meruem for Chimera Ant, and Genturu for Greed Island. I just wanted to get those must-haves out of the way. We should have the villain for each main thing. So now I'm just going to go through the list in order. Starting with Hanzo, unlikely but I do want. They've been in like one proper fight, and really it was more just a beatdown, and we haven't seen them since. But they are very likable, and they have moveset potential. Creators of Nen Impact are also some of the creators behind Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And I can see some like Strider Hiryu type gameplay from Hanzo. Botaro, not gonna happen. They're stated to be a very good martial artist, but we don't see them for long, because they immediately just get killed. Ponzu and Pockle, I'm also going to put in not going to happen. They're not very likely, nor do I really want to see them. Also going to put Kikyo in this, but Goto. I'm going to say Goto is a likely. I'm just going to switch neutral to likely and want, because they're not must includes. But yeah, this could cover the whole spectrum now, because likely but I don't want them, likely but I want them, unlikely but I want them, and unlikely and I don't want them. It's actually not going to happen. We see him get into a fight with Hisoka, where he is very skilled. I still think Goto is a fine pick. Why am I blanking on the name? It's going to bug me if I don't think of it. It starts with C, I believe. Oh my god, what is their name? I need to look it up. I don't remember their name. Canary! Oh my god. Canary, I'm not gonna happen. Kabuto, I'm also gonna say it's unlikely, but I do want to see them. That paper Nen is very interesting, and I would very much like to see it. Silver, I'm going to say unlikely, but I want, and then Zeno is likely and want. I think Silver is less likely than Zeno because we only see Silver fight against Chrollo and then kill Cheetu. Where Zeno we see him fight Frollo, where he is doing most of the fighting in that. And then we also get more of his dragon techniques in the Chimera and Hawk. Xeno, I think, would be a likely candidate for like a first DLC or pre-order bonus character. I don't know how popular they are with most fans, but me and at least one of my friends that also love the show fucking love this guy. Zushi. I'm gonna put in likely but don't want. Only saying likely because they are like essentially the third main character for the Helm's Arena arc. They're notable enough, but likely or not, I don't really want to see them because they don't really do much. Wing is not going to happen though. Same with these three. It's most definitely not going to happen. Castro, I'm actually going to put in unlikely, but I want to see. Their fight with Hisoka is like genuinely a very fun fight. They create a clone of themselves to attack, along with their tiger bite fists, something like that. They're not likely because they only appear really for one arc and very briefly. They just fight Hisoka and lose. So now, Phantom Troop. Just looking at the ones here, and just recalling the show, I feel comfortable enough to put Nobunaga, Phaeton, and Machi in must include. They are probably the three most notable Phantom Troop members in the show. You could also argue Shao, Shizuku, and Pakunoda, but these three I feel are the most important and have the most gameplay potential, at least in my eyes. As for the rest of the troop, I said they're all at varying degrees of likely, with the exception of Kotobi. That's just not gonna happen. So let's just run on the list. Finks, likely but don't want. They're just a strong guy. Shao, I'm gonna do likely and want. It'd be interesting to see his Super Saiyan form, how they'll tackle that in Net Impact. Franklin, out of the troops, I'd say he's one of the less likely ones, but I do want to see him. He's big, imposing, and has literal finger guns. That sounds like a good tank character with decent ranged options, and that's my kind of jam. Shizuku I'd want to see, but Pakunoda I don't. Pakunoda essentially just has a gun. I'm also gonna put Bonolenov in the same tier. We do see him in a fight. They like box, but As for Ubogin, I do really want to see him. Again, big, strong guy. That's very much up my alley, especially for a fighting game. And he definitely left an impact. So much so that I'm just gonna skip ahead and put all the Shadow Beast in not gonna happen. Bastro. Bastro has a decent gimmick with his poem then, but he doesn't have much an impact on the story at all. So I'm just gonna put him in not gonna happen as well, alongside Melody, who is a fan favorite character, but literally doesn't do anything. If they had an assist system, then a lot of these characters would make sense, like Kikyo, Pockle, and Melody. But as it stands, not gonna happen. Bisky is the main reason I had a likely but don't want. They're fine as a character, but I do not care for them. I remember them being very annoying when I was watching Reed Island. I personally don't want to see them. However, dude, I don't remember this guy's name, being perfectly real, but just playing super strong volleyball in a fighting game seems super stupid and fun to me. I haven't watched many scenes from Green Island in a while, but I would love to see this guy. Kite. Yeah, Kite is a must include. I love a bit of chaos, so getting a random weapon, that is very, I don't want to keep saying on my alley, but it's very fun. They're about as much a must include as like Nobunaga or even Gentru. The Ant Queen is not going to happen. I don't think Cole is either, or Blue Lobster. See, I'm realizing now, I don't need to have the already confirmed thing. Lobster has guns in its claws, which are sick. No, actually, yeah, he's going to be bumped up to unlikely by a lot. Same with Chitu. and Zazan. Both of them have their own fights, both of them have their own unique abilities, unique characters, and I think it'd be very fun. Leorion, no. Mosquito Lady, smash. We're just gonna leave it at that. Rabbit Guy, no. Spider Guy, no. Lion, I'm gonna say unlikely, but I want. He is another sort, weirdly enough, like Chrollo, where he uses the abilities of other characters. But enough of these lame ass ants. Pito is a must include. I should have included them earlier. I'll be real. I'm actually gonna pretend that I did include them earlier. Meruem is the main threat. Pito is the main antagonist to Gon. Wing, I think would be likely, but I don't want. They're a notable character in Chimera Ant, but like the main purpose that Wing has is transportation. He teleports people around, and while you can do some nice pull things, you sort of already have that with Leorio. Morel, on the other hand, God, I wish he was a must include. Big, strong man with big, strong bong. I would main the shit out of Morel. There are already characters. There are other characters I want to play more, like Killua, Netero, and Hisoka. He's probably the character I'd most want to see outside of maybe Zeno, that I don't think is a must include. Poem is not going to happen though. Now, Shoot. I think both Shoot and Knuckle could go in likely, but I don't want. The issue is, Shoot, we only really see briefly just dodge Yuppie and like train Killua. We don't see him do much. But with Knuckle, it's his Nen ability. Knuckle gets hits on you, which then builds up interest. And once it reaches a certain amount, the ability pops off, and you're not allowed to use Nen for a extended period of time. I don't see how this is possible for a fighting game. The ability is primarily used for if Knuckle has an advantage, just to quickly like debilitate and disable the important abilities. Or if Knuckle's at a disadvantage, it's for stall. I don't think having the ability to translate in a fighting game is at all feasible. Poof and Yuppie. Yuppie is a must include, but I'm very mixed on Poof. He's not really shown in physical confrontation much. That said, he is a member of the Royal Guard, and I'm certain that the devs can find unique ways to use his abilities. I think he's the one member of the Royal Guard that I think is just likely. I still want to see him. Ikalgo... He has more capabilities than Leorion. Get that out of the way right now. I'm going to put him in likely, but don't want. And likely is a big stretch. So there's 5 characters left. I'm going to be real. None of them are going to happen. Wolfman's abilities are neat, but I'm lying. Ging doesn't, because he is notable, he's Gon's motivation. The more I think about it, I feel like he is likely. Again, he is Gon's motivation. He is the main thing that Gon is looking for. And he has a unique ability. He can translate a punch within a different language. What it actually is that if he's punched by something, he can replicate that punch. If he took a punch, he can use that punch ability. So I think because how noble he is and with that unique ability, he is more likely, but I don't want to see him. Because, I mean, he doesn't want to be there, let's be real. Tsubone, Amane, and Alika are the final ones that are just not gonna happen. Tsubone and Amane, one of them doesn't do anything, and one of them just transforms into vehicles. And then what are you gonna do with Alika? So, this is my official list. Again, in my opinion at least. Other characters I should have added, other characters I shouldn't have added. Let me know what you would think in the comments below. This has been Jopta. Catches.